Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you about something today that can dramatically change your life. It's time to kill that weak version of yourself. Now, I'm not talking about doing away with your true self, but rather getting rid of the limitations, bad habits, and excuses that have kept you stuck. You see, the weakest version of yourself isn't someone you're born with. It's a version you've created over time through small choices, procrastination, and the acceptance of mediocrity. But here's the truth. You don't have to stay that way. Recognizing your weaknesses is the foundational step in any journey of personal growth, and it's often the hardest part of the process. The idea of confronting and acknowledging our shortcomings can feel uncomfortable or even frightening. It requires vulnerability, honesty, and the willingness to face aspects of ourselves that we may not be proud of. But it's in this very confrontation that real transformation begins. At first glance, many of us may think we don't have weaknesses, or at least not significant ones. It's natural to think that we are doing well in life, or that there are things we've already accomplished that show we're succeeding. However, to recognize your weaknesses doesn't mean to solely focus on failures or shortcomings. It's about self-awareness and understanding where you're not operating at your full potential. Your weaknesses might not be glaring or dramatic, but often they are the subtle habits or mindsets that hold you back from achieving greater things. For example, it could be procrastination that slows you down when you could be accomplishing more. It could be an inability to deal with criticism, which makes you defensive and limits your capacity to learn and grow. It could be a lack of focus, where you constantly get distracted by external factors and can't commit to a single task long enough to finish it properly. It's easy to overlook these small, seemingly harmless patterns, but they add up over time, limiting your success and growth. The first challenge is to look at these weaknesses objectively. It's easy to become defensive and dismiss these as things that are beyond our control or just who we are. The truth is, every weakness is an opportunity to improve. Weaknesses are not permanent characteristics, but temporary states that can be transformed. The key is to stop avoiding them and start addressing them head on. You see, recognizing your weaknesses is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of strength. Only when we become aware of the things holding us back can we begin to take meaningful action to change them. If you refuse to confront your weaknesses, you're allowing them to dictate your future. The longer you ignore them, the more they will reinforce themselves, turning into habits and mindsets that seem impossible to break. The person you could become gets buried under excuses, distractions, and a constant battle with inertia. So, what does it mean to truly recognize your weaknesses? It's about being brutally honest with yourself, even when it's difficult. It's about understanding that none of us are perfect, and we all have areas for improvement. That honesty might require you to take a hard look at your habits, your thoughts, and your behavior patterns. Start by looking at the areas where you consistently struggle. Is it your time management? Are you often behind on deadlines or rushing at the last minute? Do you procrastinate on important tasks only to feel the anxiety of catching up later? These are areas where you might find weakness. Or maybe it's in your relationships. Do you struggle to maintain healthy, fulfilling connections with others because of a fear of vulnerability or communication issues? It could also be in your mindset. Are you someone who constantly doubts yourself, even when you have the ability to succeed? Are you afraid of failure, so you avoid taking risks? These are all aspects of yourself that, when left unchecked, will hold you back. Recognizing these weaknesses is not meant to make you feel bad about yourself. It's meant to create an opportunity for growth. Once you can clearly see where you're not operating at your best, you can begin to make changes that move you toward your ideal version of yourself. This recognition should also be coupled with the understanding that weakness does not define you. Your weaknesses are simply parts of you that need attention and care. They don't make you weak as a person. In fact, acknowledging them and choosing to improve them is a sign of incredible strength and self-awareness. Once you understand where your weaknesses lie, you can move into the next stage, actively working on them. This is where growth happens. But it all starts with the awareness that the weak version of yourself is simply a result of unexamined habits, unchallenged thinking, and missed opportunities to improve. For many, recognizing weaknesses can be an eye-opening experience. We often believe that we're either strong or weak, successful or unsuccessful. But the truth is, we all have a mixture of both. The weak version of you is not the real you. It's the you that you've allowed to stay stagnant, the you that's not been pushed to grow and become better. The process of recognizing and confronting your weaknesses is ongoing. It doesn't happen all at once, and it's not something that only needs to be done once in your life. As we grow, we uncover more areas in need of improvement. There will always be new challenges, new areas where you can be stronger, more disciplined, more focused. But the more you practice the habit of recognizing weaknesses, the better you'll become at seeing where you need to change. So ask yourself, what's holding you back right now? Is it a specific behavior, a mindset, a lack of discipline? Don't shy away from confronting it. The first step to overcoming any weakness is the courage to acknowledge it, face it, and choose to grow beyond it. And once you do that, you will find that the weak version of yourself no longer has power over you. You will become stronger, more confident, and more capable than ever before. Taking responsibility for your growth is one of the most empowering choices you can make in life. It means stepping away from the mentality of blaming external circumstances or other people for your struggles, and instead realizing that you hold the power to shape your future. This responsibility doesn't mean you ignore your circumstances or pretend they don't matter. It means that you understand no matter what life throws at you, how you respond and the actions you take are entirely up to you. At the heart of personal development is the idea that you are the creator of your own destiny. When you embrace this mindset, you begin to see every situation, whether positive or negative, as an opportunity to grow. Taking responsibility means no longer seeing yourself as a victim of life, but as the captain of your ship, steering it toward the direction you choose. You are the one who decides whether you're going to move forward, stay stagnant, or go backward. Many people find it easy to blame others for their lack of progress. Maybe you found yourself saying, if I had a better boss, I'd be more successful. Or if I had more resources, I could do so much more. But the truth is, success is not determined by who you know or what you have. It's determined by what you choose to do with what you have. Life is never perfect, and you will never have all the resources, opportunities, or the ideal environment. The real question is, what are you doing with what you have right now? Are you maximizing your potential, or are you allowing yourself to be hindered by external factors? Taking responsibility for your growth means realizing that your actions and decisions, not your circumstances, are what define your success. If you blame your lack of success on your past, your job, your environment, or anyone else, you are giving away your power to make things better. You are telling yourself that external conditions must change before you can achieve greatness. But when you take full responsibility for your life, you recognize that you have the ability to change, regardless of your situation. This mindset shift is incredibly powerful because it gives you the tools to change anything about yourself that isn't serving you. If you're not happy with your current situation, don't waste time wishing things were different or blaming others for how you feel. Take responsibility. That means choosing to make different decisions, adopting a growth mindset, and taking action to improve. It means being proactive instead of reactive, and taking ownership of the path you're on. When you take responsibility for your own growth, you stop waiting for someone else to come along and change your life for you. Success, happiness, and fulfillment are not something that will fall into your lap. It's something you actively create. You must do the work yourself. If you're looking to improve your career, don't wait for a promotion to fall into your lap. Start looking for opportunities to improve your skills. Network with the right people and take on new challenges that will push you forward. Your progress depends on your willingness to take action, not on waiting for someone or something to make it happen for you. This idea also extends to your personal life and relationships. Often we find ourselves blaming other people for how we feel. If they would just treat me differently, I'd be happier. But in reality, you can't control others. But you can control how you react to them and what you choose to bring to the relationship. Taking responsibility means not relying on anyone else to meet your emotional needs or make you feel valued. It means working on yourself to become the person you want to attract and letting go of the notion that happiness or success lies in the hands of others. Taking responsibility for your growth also involves confronting your weaknesses and flaws. It's about looking in the mirror and acknowledging that the person staring back at you is the one responsible for where you are today. This isn't to say that you are to blame for everything that has happened to you, but it means recognizing that your actions, choices, and reactions are what have brought you to this point. And more importantly, they are what will determine where you go from here. By owning your decisions, both good and bad, you empower yourself to make better choices moving forward. Another critical aspect of taking responsibility for your growth is learning from failure. Many people view failure as a reason to quit, to give up, or to feel defeated. But those who take responsibility understand that failure is not a dead end. It's simply feedback. It's a stepping stone to success. You're not defined by your failures. You're defined by how you respond to them. When you take responsibility, you embrace failure as an essential part of the growth process. You analyze what went wrong, extract the lessons, and move forward, more equipped than before. This is the difference between someone who is stuck in weakness and someone who is on the path to success. Taking responsibility for your growth means committing to lifelong learning. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. To truly evolve, you need to remain open to new ideas, new experiences, and continuous improvement. This doesn't mean that you need to become perfect or know everything, but it does mean that you must actively seek out knowledge and experiences that challenge you. Growth is a lifelong process, and it requires continuous effort. Whether it's reading books, attending seminars, taking courses, or simply learning from your own experiences, you must always be in the mindset of growth. The beauty of taking responsibility for your growth is that it leads to a sense of empowerment. Instead of feeling helpless or stuck, you begin to realize that you have the power to change anything in your life. You can develop the skills you need to succeed, change your mindset, and transform your habits. When you take responsibility, you step into your true power and become the architect of your future. So ask yourself, what are you waiting for? Stop looking for someone else to fix things for you. Take full ownership of your growth and take the necessary steps to improve yourself, your mindset, and your future. The only person who can make that change happen is you. Developing strong daily habits is one of the most powerful and transformative ways to reshape your life. The reality is, who you are today is the sum of the habits you've built over the years. Your success, your mindset, your health, and your relationships all stem from the patterns of behavior you engage in day after day. The weak version of yourself is not an inherent trait. It's a product of poor habits. Therefore, the path to eliminating that weaker version and becoming a stronger, more resilient individual starts with cultivating disciplined and purposeful daily routines. Habits are the foundation of everything you do. whether you're aware of it or not, each decision you make, each action you take, and every thought you have is influenced by a habit. The power of habit lies in its ability to shape your life without requiring constant effort or conscious thought. It becomes automatic. The key to success lies not in relying on bursts of motivation or waiting for inspiration to strike, but in deliberately creating and reinforcing strong habits that push you toward your goals, no matter how you feel in the moment. Building strong daily habits requires a clear understanding of where you want to go and the discipline to make decisions in alignment with that vision. Without habits, you float aimlessly through life, reacting to the world around you instead of proactively shaping it. Think about it. If you want to become more fit, for example, you can't wait for the motivation to work out every day. If you do, you'll wait forever. Instead, you need to create the habit of exercising consistently. You need to schedule it into your day, commit to it, and make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. Over time, that habit will begin to feel effortless, and the results will show. The same principle applies to every area of your life. If you want to improve your career, stop waiting for opportunities to fall into your lap. Instead, make a habit of learning new skills, networking with influential people, and seeking out challenges that will help you grow. If you want to build stronger relationships, create the habit of showing up for the people you care about, whether that means making time for meaningful conversations, offering support, or simply being present. Your habits don't just define what you do, they define who you become. The trick, however, is to start small. Too often people try to overhaul their entire life overnight. They make ambitious resolutions, but without a foundation of consistent action, they burn out quickly. The key is to focus on incremental improvements. Start with one small, manageable habit and master it before moving on to the next. For instance, if you want to read more books, don't commit to reading an entire chapter every day right from the start. Instead, begin with just 10 minutes of reading every morning. This small habit will build over time, and soon enough, you'll find yourself reading consistently, having absorbed far more than you would have imagined in the beginning. Creating strong daily habits doesn't just require consistency, it also requires discipline. Discipline is the ability to follow through on your commitments, even when the initial excitement fades or when you'd rather do something else. This is where many people falter. They begin a new habit with enthusiasm, but quickly lose steam when they encounter obstacles, fatigue, or distraction. Discipline is what gets you back on track when you don't feel like doing the work. It's what keeps you moving forward when motivation wanes. If you want to kill the weak version of yourself, you must build the muscle of discipline and use it to push through resistance. Another important component of developing strong daily habits is the ability to track your progress. When you have a clear system for tracking your habits, you can see how far you've come and identify areas where you may be falling short. Tracking progress provides valuable feedback and encourages you to keep going even when things feel slow. Whether it's through a habit tracker, a journal, or a digital app, keeping track of your efforts adds a level of accountability to your actions and helps you stay focused on your goals. Moreover, don't underestimate the importance of environment. The environment around you plays a significant role in shaping your habits. If your goal is to eat healthier, for example, and your kitchen is stocked with unhealthy snacks, you're making it harder for yourself to succeed. But if you set up your environment for success by preparing healthy meals in advance, removing temptations, or surrounding yourself with people who support your goals, you increase your chances of building strong, lasting habits. A positive, supportive environment removes friction and makes it easier to act in alignment with your goals. Another critical aspect of building strong habits is accountability. Telling someone about your goals or enlisting the help of a coach or mentor can provide the external push you need to stay on track. Accountability partners offer encouragement, feedback, and sometimes a gentle nudge when you're not following through. It's one thing to disappoint yourself, but when someone else is aware of your commitments, the stakes are higher and you're more likely to follow through. Remember that habits are a long-term investment. In the beginning, they may feel like an effort. You may question if the results are worth it, especially if you don't see immediate change. But over time, your daily habits compound. The small actions you take every day, whether they're exercising, eating well, reading, or working on a project, will add up to extraordinary. The difference between the weak version of yourself and the strong version is found in the consistency of the actions you take every day. If you want to create a new version of yourself, one that is disciplined, successful, and healthy, it's all about building habits that support that vision. Make a decision to replace weak habits with strong ones and commit to that decision every day. It won't happen overnight, but the small, consistent actions you take each day will lead to big changes over time. The habits you cultivate today will be the foundation of the future you create tomorrow. So start building those habits now and kill the weak version of yourself. Understanding the importance of mindset in your journey of self-improvement cannot be overstated. Your mindset is the lens through which you view the world, and more importantly, the lens through which you view yourself. It shapes how you respond to challenges, how you interpret success and failure, and whether you keep moving forward or give up when things get difficult. A strong mindset is not something you're born with. It's something you develop. It is the cornerstone of overcoming limitations, breaking through barriers, and pushing yourself to become the best version of yourself. Your mindset is often the key difference between the weak version of yourself and the stronger version you aim to become. People with a weak mindset tend to see themselves as victims of circumstance. They blame their failures on external factors or believe that their situation is beyond their control. When things don't go their way, they often quit, believing that they simply don't have what it takes to succeed. They might say, "I'm just not good enough," or "I'll never be able to do this." But the truth is, the way you see yourself and the world around you dictates how you show up in every situation. A weak mindset will hold you back from reaching your potential, while a strong mindset will empower you to overcome obstacles and continue on the path to success. A strong mindset, on the other hand, is characterized by the belief that challenges are opportunities for growth, not insurmountable obstacles. People with a strong mindset embrace failure as part of the process. They understand that failure is not a reflection of who they are, but simply feedback that shows them what doesn't work. A strong mindset is rooted in resilience, the ability to face setbacks, learn from them, and keep moving forward. When you have a strong mindset, you don't let failures define you. You let them teach you. You get back up, adjust your approach, and continue pushing toward your goals with renewed determination. A key element of a strong mindset is cultivating a growth-oriented perspective. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities, intelligence, and potential are not fixed. Rather, they can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. People with a growth mindset are not afraid of challenges. In fact, they welcome them because they see challenges as an opportunity to grow. They understand that success is a result of consistent effort, not innate talent. This mindset allows you to approach difficult situations with confidence, knowing that the effort you put in will eventually pay off. On the flip side, a fixed mindset, believing that your abilities are limited and cannot be changed, leads to stagnation. Those with a fixed mindset avoid challenges because they fear failure and believe that failing means they are not capable. They may have a desire for success, but lack the belief in their own ability to improve. And this fear often paralyzes them into inaction. When faced with a setback, they may give up too easily, thinking that their limitations are permanent. But the key to growth is understanding that what you believe about your abilities will shape the actions you take. If you believe you can improve, you will take action to improve. If you believe you are stuck in your current state, you will be reluctant to try and push yourself. Another critical aspect of developing a strong mindset is controlling your internal dialogue. The way you speak to yourself shapes your belief system and ultimately your reality. If you constantly tell yourself that you are not good enough or that you can't do something, your brain will internalize those beliefs and make them true. On the other hand, if you fill your mind with positive affirmations and self-empowering thoughts, you begin to change your belief system. A person with a strong mindset actively works to reframe negative thoughts and replaces them with empowering beliefs. When faced with difficulty, they say to themselves, "I'm learning, I'm improving, I will get through this." This simple shift in self-talk can drastically change how you respond to adversity and influence the actions you. The role of discipline also ties into the development of a strong mindset. Discipline is a core component of a resilient mindset because it allows you to push through challenges and distractions. Without discipline, a positive mindset becomes weak and inconsistent. Discipline helps you stay focused on your goals even when things get tough, when your motivation wanes, or when you feel like quitting. It's the ability to keep your promises to yourself and keep showing up for your dreams, even on the days when you don't feel like it. A strong mindset and discipline work hand in hand. Together, they allow you to take purposeful actions toward your goals, even when those actions don't feel easy or convenient. It's also important to note that a strong mindset is not about denying or suppressing negative emotions. We all experience moments of doubt, fear, frustration, or sadness, and pretending those emotions don't exist is counterproductive. A strong mindset is about acknowledging your feelings, but not letting them control your actions. Rather than being consumed by fear or self-doubt, you use those feelings as fuel for growth. Acknowledge the challenge, feel the emotion, but then shift your focus to what you can do about it. It's about taking control of how you respond to your emotions and choosing to act in a way that aligns with your long-term goals. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is to stop viewing obstacles as reasons to quit and start seeing them as signals that you are on the right path. Challenges are a natural part of life, and if you want to break free from the weak version of yourself, you must learn to embrace them. Every obstacle is an opportunity to prove your resilience, to sharpen your skills, and to refine your mindset. A person with a strong mindset doesn't see obstacles as insurmountable. They see them as stepping stones toward their success. To build a strong mindset, it's important to commit to daily mental conditioning. Just as you would train your body in the gym to become physically stronger, you must train your mind to become more resilient, focused, and determined. This means surrounding yourself with positive influences, feeding your mind with empowering thoughts, and continuously challenging yourself to think differently about your challenges and abilities. In the end, the key to developing a strong mindset lies in your willingness to embrace discomfort, to learn from every experience, and to believe in your own potential. The weak version of yourself exists because you've allowed your mindset to be influenced by fear, doubt, and self-limiting beliefs. But by intentionally cultivating a mindset that is focused on growth, resilience, and discipline, you will be able to break free from the limitations that once held you back and step into a life of strength, success, and fulfillment. The stronger version of you is waiting on the other side of a powerful mindset. One of the most important aspects of eliminating the weak version of yourself and becoming the person you want to be is the ability to take consistent and focused action. Action is the bridge between your desires and your results. It is what transforms thoughts into reality, goals into accomplishments, and potential into achievement. Without action, all the intentions, ideas, and plans you have remain just that, thoughts. They have no tangible effect on your life, but when you take purposeful and consistent action, even the smallest steps compound over time, creating significant change in your life. Too often, people get caught in the cycle of planning and dreaming without ever taking the necessary steps to make their goals a reality. They research endlessly, they strategize, and they even talk about their plans with enthusiasm. But when it comes to executing, they hesitate, procrastinate, or abandon their ideas altogether. The weak version of yourself is the one who remains in this cycle, always talking about the future, but never acting in the present. To change this, you must break free from the inertia of inaction and replace it with a mindset of execution. The first step to taking consistent action is to define a clear and compelling goal. Without clarity, your efforts are scattered and unfocused. You can't hit a target you can't see, and you can't make progress if you don't know exactly where you're headed. A goal that excites you, one that is meaningful and aligned with your values, provides you with the energy and motivation needed to push through obstacles. This clarity is what drives you to take that first step and to keep going when things get tough. Once you have your goal clearly defined, the next step is to break it down into smaller, manageable tasks. Large goals can feel overwhelming, and when we look at them in their entirety, we often freeze, unsure of where to start. But when you break the goal into smaller, more achievable pieces, the path becomes clearer and more accessible. Focus on taking one step at a time. These small wins, when consistently accumulated, build momentum. They create a snowball effect where each action propels you toward the next, and each success reinforces the belief that you are capable of achieving even bigger goals. It's important to remember that action doesn't have to be perfect or flawless. Many people get stuck because they feel they need to wait for the perfect time or for everything to be just right. But perfection is an illusion, and waiting for ideal circumstances often leads to procrastination. In reality, action, even imperfect action, is always better than no action at all. Every mistake, every setback is part of the learning process. Rather than fearing failure, embrace it as feedback that will guide you toward the right path. Taking action gives you valuable experience, teaches you what works and what doesn't, and refines your approach. The next crucial element of consistent action is discipline. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward, even on the days when motivation is low or when distractions are tempting. Motivation is fleeting, and it's easy to get excited about a goal at the beginning, but the real work happens when you show up day after day, regardless of how you feel. When you cultivate discipline, you create a system where actions are non-negotiable. You don't wait for motivation, you make progress because you've made a commitment to yourself. Whether it's getting up early to work on your goals, setting aside time every day to practice, or consistently following through on your commitments, discipline is what ensures you stay on track, even when the initial excitement fades. Consistency is another cornerstone of successful action. Success doesn't come from sporadic bursts of effort. It comes from the daily, consistent application of your efforts towards your goal. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't is often not talent or intelligence, but the consistency with which they take action. It's the person who shows up every day, no matter how small the step, who ultimately makes progress. Building a habit of consistent action is what separates the dreamers from the doers. To maintain your momentum and stay on course, it's important to track your progress. When you keep track of your actions, you can clearly see how far you've come, which serves as motivation to keep going. Tracking allows you to celebrate small victories along the way and to course correct if you're veering off track. Tracking doesn't mean micromanaging every step, but it means having a clear understanding of where you stand, what you've accomplished, and where you need to focus your attention. Another key to taking consistent action is eliminating distractions and staying focused on what truly matters. In today's fast-paced world, distractions are everywhere. From social media notifications to the constant barrage of emails and messages, it's easy to get sidetracked and lose focus. But if you want to make progress toward your goals, you must learn to guard your time and energy. Create an environment that supports your goals and minimizes distractions. Whether that means setting specific work hours, creating a dedicated space for your work, or using tools to block out distractions, protecting your time is essential for maintaining consistent action. Taking action also means being adaptable. Life rarely goes according to plan, and sometimes the actions you take may not produce the immediate results you hoped for. Flexibility and adaptability are essential qualities to have in your journey. If something isn't working, you can adjust your approach, pivot your strategy, or try a new method. Don't be afraid to change course when necessary. But always keep taking action, even if that action looks different than what you initially planned. The key is to keep moving, learning, and growing, even when things don't go exactly as expected. The truth is, success is not an overnight achievement. It is the result of consistent, focused action over time. The weak version of yourself is the one who waits for the right moment, who is afraid of failure, or who makes excuses. The stronger version of yourself is the one who takes action every day, even when the journey is difficult, uncertain, or uncomfortable. By taking small, consistent steps toward your goals, you will create the momentum needed to achieve greatness. The longer you delay taking action, the longer it will take to get to where you want to be. But every step you take today brings you closer to the life you desire. So stop waiting for the perfect time and take that first step. The future version of yourself will thank you for it.